Hello, everyone. Welcome to this new series of classes on the topic database design. So, we are going to have a series of connected videos, one after the other, which is going to talk about database design. So, coming on to this topic, what is a database design? Is it like creating tables and getting your tables ready so that people can start manipulating the records or start selecting the records through queries? No, that is not database design. Once when you join your job, or if you are in a job as a SQL programmer, and when the client comes to you with a requirement. So let us say the client runs a tutoring company and the client wants to establish his tutoring company online, and he comes to you to create a set of tables for it. Will you go ahead and create all the tables in one go just with this one line of requirement? If you do that, do you think the tables are right and the tables meet the customer requirement? And most importantly, the tables are stable enough without any redundancy? No, there is no guarantee for that. Then what should you do? As a full stack developer and as a teacher, now I would recommend that you know what is database design before you get into backend development as a SQL programmer or in any other roles. So when you talk about database design, it's all that you do before creating your tables in your database. There are multiple steps that you have to follow. The very first thing is when the client comes to you with a requirement, you would do requirement analysis. There are different ways to do the requirement analysis. You could do it as with the help of questionnaires, with interviews, with several other sources. But first, you do the requirement analysis. And once when the requirement analysis is done, you understood the requirement better and not just as one line of thing, then, based on your requirement analysis, you will identify entities and attributes. So, that will be your second step of going further. Okay. So, let us do that. Let us get into it and write it down. So, identify entities and attributes. That is your second step. So, what do you mean by identifying entities and attributes? So, in this video, we are not going to talk about any particular step in depth. In the forthcoming videos in this series, you will learn about each of these in detail. But for now, let me tell you what are entities and attributes. So, taking the tutoring company example, so what are the different entities that you could think about? So, the first one could be the tutor, the second one could be the students, because each tutoring company relies on student. Then you have subject. What subject is the student teaching? I mean, is the tutor teaching to the student? So all these become entities. So these are your entities. And each entity will have a bunch of attributes. Say, for example, when you think about tutor, what are the different attributes the tutor will contain? So that each tutor will have an ID, their name, address, and so on. So, once when the client comes to you with this case study or with this requirement, you analyze the requirement, take notes of it, and based on your analysis, you summarize on the entities and attributes in that particular requirement. So that is your step two. So once when that is done, you have everything in picture, but what are you going to do with those entities and attributes? So that is the very next thing that we will talk about. So the third step is how to use these entities and attributes. That is, you have a special type of drawing. You will draw the ER diagram. ER stands for entity relationship diagram. More than putting everything in the form of text and a Word document containing 3 or 4 pages of requirements written, if you could compose the entire study in a diagram, it will be easy for you to communicate that diagram to your client so that you could discuss with the help of the diagram and identify all the gaps. That is one way. The second thing is, you as a developer, when you wanted to get this drawing further into tables, it will be easy for you. So this entity relationship diagram is a special type of diagram that you will draw, which represents your entities, attributes, and the relationship between entities. So once when you finish drawing, what next? The next thing you will do is convert your entity relationship diagram, ER diagram in short, into tables. You don't randomly do it. There are proven steps that we will follow to convert your entity relationship diagram into tables. So once when you do that, there is a guarantee that your requirement is met and the client requirement is handled. But do we have a guarantee that the tables do not have redundant data? The same data is not put in multiple tables unnecessarily. There are no anomalies in our tables. That you cannot guarantee at this point of time. So that is where we come up with the next step, which is going to be normalization of the tables. This again is a proven concept with different normalizations in place, and we will learn about each of them in detail. We will convert our tables into normalized set of tables. Now you have your final table structure in place at the end of database design. Now you know that these tables meet your client requirement, and at the same time, these tables are going to be stable, normalized, without any redundancies and anomalies. Now, you as a developer will take up these tables and you will start creating them in the backend programming language of your choice. It could be Oracle, it could be SQL Server, PostgreSQL, MySQL, or any other backend languages. And then you will create these tables into reality, insert records into it, and do your select queries and DML statements to play around with the data. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I did not use any slides and all that. I personally like to use whiteboard and I think it's much more interactive that way. So let me know if this video was clear to you, was it beneficial to you? And I believe at the end of this video, you would have understood what a database design is all about. Okay, I'll meet you soon in the next video talking about each of the step in detail with appropriate examples. Stay tuned. See you soon. Bye.